Spoke, whispering through the trees like it, too, carried secrets. He died. Thinking I didn't care, I sobbed. We know the truth now, Grandma said softly, stroking my hair like she did when I was little. We know, Elena. Grandma wiped her tears with the edge of her sleeve, then looked at me with a steadiness I hadn't seen in years. The sadness in her eyes hadn't disappeared, but now it was laced with something sharper. Resolve. She stood slowly, brushing imaginary dust from her skirt, then walked into the house. I followed her in, unsure of what came next. In the living room, everything was exactly as I remembered, except the air. It was heavier now. She picked up the phone from its cradle by the kitchen wall. The old rotary phone clicked as she dialed, each number a deliberate choice that couldn't be undone. I watched her fingers, noticing how the skin had thinned over the years, the blue veins more prominent now beneath the surface. Yet there was nothing fragile about the way she held herself. The grief had hardened into something else, determination. Her fingers trembled slightly as she dialed, but when she spoke her voice had returned to that unshakable firmness I remembered from childhood. Betty. Yes, it's me, she said flatly. I need you, Jacob, and Vanessa to come over. Right away. I heard a muffled voice on the other end. Grandma cut in before it could finish. No, it can't wait. I'll be expecting you within the hour. She hung up without saying goodbye. Then, she turned to me. The lawyer is on his way too, she said, her voice calm, but underneath it, something was burning. Your grandfather. He left some things that need to be read aloud in front of everyone. I didn't say a word. I only nodded. I wasn't ready for what was coming. But I had nothing left to lose. An hour later, the doorbell rang. Stay in the kitchen until I call you, Grandma said, placing a gentle hand on my shoulder. I sat at the small kitchen table, the one where Grandpa used to drink his morning coffee while reading science articles I'd clipped out for him. Through the wall, I could hear their voices, Mom's overly cheerful tone, Dad's calculated politeness, Vanessa's trademark bored sigh, then silence, and finally, Grandma's voice, clear and cutting. Please everyone take a seat. Mr. Cullen Reeves is here to read David's will. That was my cue. I stepped into the living room. All three heads snapped in my direction. My mother's fake smile faltered. My father's face went ghostly pale. Vanessa's lips parted, but no sound came. I could see the calculations, spinning in their minds. Why was I here? Why had Grandma invited them under false pretenses? The living room felt smaller than I remembered. The faded floral sofa where my grandmother now sat, the armchair where my father perched uncomfortably, the antique coffee table with water rings from decades of iced tea glasses, it all seemed to shrink in the presence of what was about to unfold. The air was thick with unspoken accusations, with secrets about to surface. Mr. Reeves opened his briefcase, slowly, and pulled out a thick envelope. The kind that didn't just contain legal instructions, but secrets, too. He cleared his throat. I, Walter Dawson, being of sound mind and clear intention, declare this to be my last will and testament. The room went utterly still. Mr. Reeves continued reading. To my beloved wife, Helen Dawson, I leave our family home and a lifelong financial provision for her care and comfort. Grandma's